Welcome back. It is your resident NFL expert, Mickey G. That's right. I know, whenever you need some NFL thought, you come to this guy. A while back during the season, I made a couple of rants about a certain someone who used to be called, referred to as BDN. I'm not going to say the whole thing out because this is a Christian channel, and we don't say naughty words here. Anyways, those did fairly well for the channel. Actually, extremely well for the channel. So I think maybe I need to do more, not rants, not necessarily, but like current NFL ideas, because I have opinions, and they need to be heard. Obviously, by the title, you know that I'm going to give you my thoughts on to where Tom Brady should head in free agency. Whether it's back to New England, somewhere else, you're going to find out today. In this fantastic, exciting video brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by absolutely no one. So, obviously, most of the teams are not in the running for Tom Brady because they either have their own quarterbacks or they're too dumb to realize that their quarterbacks that they have are not the best. They should probably look for someone else. But there are a few to start out with. We're going to people with the least amount of a chance here, and we're going to move up into the teams that have the most chance, and eventually I'll tell you who I believe will win Tom Brady. The first of these teams that I think are in like the maybe category, like they maybe have a chance here. These are teams that either should take a gander at good old Tom, or they want to, but Tom has zero to little interest. But the first of these teams is the Bills. Now, the Bills quarterback they have now currently is the bad Josh Allen. The good Josh Allen, obviously, is the defensive end for the Jaguars, who is fantastic. And, you know, he was a rookie. He had more sacks than Nick Bosa, significantly less snaps because he didn't even start. And the Jaguars said, oh, we'll get him more into, you know, the rotation. And then the next game they played him like least amount of ball the entire season, but that's a whole nother issue. And so to have your quarterback have the bad version of someone in its name, probably not a good thing. I mean, if we're being honest here, Josh Allen is basically a glorified running back. Even more so than Lamar Jackson, which some people might not agree with. All I'm saying is that Tyrod Taylor would have won that game. Would have won the playoff game. Bills, they should look into it, okay? They've played him so many times, they probably know what he's going to do, so he'd fit right in. They can just tell him, do what you do, and they'll be okay with it. But they won't because they think Josh Allen's good. The next of these three teams is the Buccaneers. Now, the Buccaneers, I feel like they want Tom Brady. They're like, that would be great. But I don't think Tom Brady wants them, and that's the problem here. You see, Jameis Winston has left a mark on Tampa Bay of lots of interceptions. And that's like the complete opposite of what Tom Brady does, okay? He throws very high percentage completion throws so that he doesn't do interceptions. Except for last year when, boy, he had some issues, especially in that playoff game. I just don't, the Buccaneers, I feel like Bruce Arians would be okay. He'd be like, I like this. Tommy boy, come on in. But I don't think Tommy boy would be like, yes, I want to come on in. And that is the problem with the Buccaneers. Now, the last of these three teams that have a kind of a maybe chance is the Redskins, okay? The Redskins are completely starting over brand new, which I feel like is not a good thing for Tom. He wants somewhere stable to go. He doesn't want to go to some team that needs him to just single-handedly lift up from the dirt and bring to victory. It just doesn't seem like the kind of guy he is. They also have their own quarterbacking issues, okay? They had Keith Keenum, started a lot of games last year, a few games, not a lot. Then he got hurt. I don't think he's in contract anymore. They have Dwayne Haskins, who's a rookie last year, and they like him for whatever reason, even though he kind of played terribly. Then there's also Alex Smith, who is technically on their roster, okay? He's been injured for the past 2 years now, ever since he got his leg absolutely Joe Theismann. There is a possibility that he comes back from injury, but that is very unlikely. Okay, that's a hard injury to come back from. Don't believe Theismann did. Their whole quarterback thing, new coach, stuff like that, probably not the best spot for Tom to go. Now, next we kind of have the high chance. We have the definitely better than a maybe. You're going to get looked at probably, but I don't know. Don't think you had it. The first of these teams is the Panthers, okay? They're going to have like a new coach situation, which is not a positive there, but they do have Christian McCaffrey. If Tom Brady has a guy that he can just give the ball to and is basically going to be a positive play no matter what, he likes that. Because that's what he did with Gronk, okay? So if he can do the same thing with a guy like Christian McCaffrey, that's going to be a big plus. Plus, if he ever needs to, he's got DJ Moore, who's an absolute great guy. I should know. I drafted him in my Dynasty League for fantasy. He's doing great for me. Just extended his contract. But there, once again, there's the new coach coming in, new system. He's going to have to learn with everybody else. It's not like he's going to have receivers stuff who already know what's going on because no one knows what's going to go on. So I feel like that kind of crossed them out, but they still have a better chance than the previous three. Then there's the Bears. Okay, it's the Bears. They have a great defense, which is great for Brady because when he has a good defense, he can get carried pretty darn well. The problem with them is not necessarily to do with not having the right players for Tom. I feel like they do. Allen Robinson is an absolute beast, okay? That's all he really needs. But the problem here is, I hate to say it, it's Matt Nagy. He's kept Mitch Trubisky this long, while everyone else has been saying, dude, you gotta move on. Plus, the Bears are probably the best landing spot for Nick Foles, and boy, do I want him out of Jacksonville. So I don't want Tom messing up that, okay? Which, please happen. Next is the Cowboys. The Cowboys probably have the best offense for Tom to just step into. They have incredible players like Amari Cooper and Ezekiel Elliott, and a lot of role players like Gallup and stuff like that. Like, they've got the weapons. They were the number one offense last year, and they had Dak Prescott as their quarterback. That's a good place to go, you'd think. But the whole reason of Tom Brady leaving the Patriots is probably to try to prove that he can do without Bill. And who is another guy that has multiple important positions in his team? You know, Bill's the head coach GM of the Patriots. Who's also the GM and something else of the Cowboys? Owner, Jerry Jones. That's right. Don't think Tom wants to deal with Jerry Jones. I wouldn't want to deal with Jerry either. He's kind of a nutcase, for being honest. Probably the reason why the Cowboys haven't been, consistently good and have, successful enough seasons into the playoffs in the longest time. And that brings us to our final top three, okay? These are the top three places for Tom to land, in my personal opinion. So we have the first team on our list. We have the Colts. Okay, now their offensive coordinator, what he's done in the past, under the Frank Reich, stuff like that, what they've done is they got Andrew Luck to the comeback player of the year, doing something like short passes, you know what I mean, double tight end sets, things that Tom Brady excels at. Short passes, ooh, he does so good with those. Dump it off the running back, let him run. Hit a guy across in the middle, oh, let him run. Plus double tight ends, back with the Gronk and Hernandez days. They did well. Yeah, they really did. So that sounds like a good place on paper. The problem is I have this nagging feeling in the back of my head that they want to keep Brissett. Brissett was also a backup of Tom Brady. So there's always that interesting little, factoid to think about. I feel like if the Colts wanted to have someone else over Brissett, they would have done it by now. They would have tried more last year. They would have made a big push at the end of the when Andrew Luck said he was going to retire. They would have tried to figure something out. I feel a little faster. But they didn't. They didn't really. They were comfortable with Brissett. And honestly, I don't think that their loss during the season was all his fault. There's a lot of problems, a lot of injuries, stuff like that. Kind of hurt the team. I feel like Brissett's fine in Indianapolis, and I think they're going to keep him. Next is the Chargers. I feel like this is the team in the NFL that is most looking forward to getting a new quarterback. They've had Phillip Rivers for an extremely long time, okay? And he's been good. He's been good up until last year. He had a lot of interception issues. Phillip had been getting the team good in the regular season and then would always fall short in the playoffs. Tom Brady is the guy right now in the NFL who is consistently in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl. And if that's all you want is a guy who's consistently in the playoffs and the Super Bowl, knows how to get there, you're going to look at Tom Brady. And I feel like that's what the Chargers are missing from a team standpoint. The one problem that I think the Chargers have is the fans, okay? Recently, within the past year or so, Tom Brady has really come out of his hidden spot that he had with Bill Belichick, okay? He has a Twitter now that he's actively on, consistently tweeting about stuff, about games, about things like that, and it's really kind of insane, considering how little contact he had with the media and stuff like that in previous years, 3 or 4 years ago. He's also more vocal about his opinions on more political ideas, such as supporting Donald Trump, which a lot of people did not like. That's probably the only thing I like about the man. So since he is in the mindset as of now that he wants more publicity, he's more out in the public, the lack of fans the Chargers have might be a crutch there. However, because of such a high-profile person like Tom Brady going all the way to Los Angeles, that might bring the fans that Los Angeles needs to the Chargers, which is why I think they will strongly try to go after Tom in the free agency to get him. They want him. They think he might be the fix for both the fans and the success. And that is a very, very big thing, I think, for both sides. The final team that I have in the top 3 for where Tom Brady can end up at the beginning of this year, start of free agency, is the Patriots. He's been there for his whole career. He knows what's going on. He's got a relationship with Bill. Whether or not it's breaking up a little bit, that's, kind of under wraps. Okay, we don't really know. But I think if he doesn't go anywhere else, obviously he's going to stay. That's just common sense. But there's always that chance that he stays with the Patriots. I personally don't think he will, but it's a 50-50 chance that he leaves or he stays. I'm leaning more towards the leave side of things, but the Patriots are definitely still a big offer. Okay, they've done it before. If he wants more rings, that's the place he wants to go. If he wants to prove he can do things without Bill, then obviously anywhere else is going to do that for him. But I think the Chargers have the best. They want him the most of all the teams, I believe. And I think that the team they have built around, they have Hunter Henry, good tight end. That's what he likes. They have a strong running back who can receive well. Eckler just got signed to a big deal. Keenan Allen, Travis Benjamin, a couple other guys there in the receiving core. They've got people around him on the offense that he can use as weapons. And that's what's important for Tom. If he has the weapons, he can be good. I think the Chargers here are the place that he wants to go. The Colts, they've got the Jacoby Brissett thing that just keeps itching me in the back of the head. I think they're going to stay with him. Chargers, I think they're the winner of the Tom Brady sweepstakes. So, if Tom Brady is going to leave the Patriots, then what are they going to do about a quarterback? You're probably wondering, and don't you worry, I do in fact have an answer. But you're not going to find out today. You're going to have to find out in a later video. That'll be up before March 18th, because that's when free agency officially begins. It's when the new football season begins. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I hope you agree with me that he's going to go with the Chargers. If you don't, tell me why I'm completely and utterly wrong. Because that's what they told me on the Nick Foles video, and then who ended up being right? This guy. So please let me know what you think about Tom Brady. Tell all your friends about this 18-year-old who thinks he knows more than NFL experts. But enough of that. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this and agree with me, make sure to smash like, okay? If you want more content and you want to be notified when I make the video about who the Patriots are going to get, make sure you subscribe. Put the notifications on, stuff like that. But anyways, as always, adios.
6,100.